I'm going to talk about the final event that led to my ex and I breaking up and what I discovered about that conflict after reading Lundy Bancroft's book, Why Does He Do That? In this book, he discusses the abusive and toxic ways that men that are involved in these behaviors actually deal with conflict. And it blew my mind how much of the elements of these types of toxic conflicts showed up in that last moment with my ex. This was one of the bigger fights that we had ever had, and it actually showed me so much about the situation. He had been talking about a married couple friendship that he had had for years, and he would go over there all the time and hang out with them. I had never really met them before, and so when he invited me over to a barbecue at their house with him and his son and this couple, I was more than ecstatic because I was finally going to meet really his only close friends. We go to their house and we're drinking, we're playing games, and for the most part, I was talking to her, we were all getting along. But then as we started to drink more, I started to notice how flirty he was getting with her. Like I said, it was a married couple friendship that he had, but his long-standing friendship was with the woman in the relationship. They started to get very flirty, and I wasn't really tipsy at all, so I could sit back and observe what was happening. And I just noticed their energy changing. I noticed him flirting, I noticed her flirting. They were very laser focused on each other. Then when we got home, I brought it up to him very casually, and I just said, "Hey, I observed that you guys got very flirty when you were around each other after you'd had some drinks." And he then disclosed to me that he had had a sexual relationship with her years earlier, but it hadn't been happening in quite some time. They were now just platonic friends. And I made the observation that I can tell that you guys have been together sexually because of the way that you were acting tonight. You guys definitely had some chemistry happening. And I know that that sounds unbelievable that I was aloof and nonchalant, but I absolutely was. I was getting to the point where I was starting to disconnect from the relationship and honestly just wanted to see the truth. This sounds really petty, but I was not threatened by her at all. My lack of emotion, my lack of being jealous, and just my calmness seemed to really set him off. He started yelling at me and talking over me and interrupting me. We weren't even having like a cohesive conversation or argument. It was mainly just him throwing a mantrum, to be honest. And halfway through the mantrum, I was just sitting back in absolute confusion as to why he was causing so many problems and why there was such dramatics. My calmness seemed to just send him over the edge. So he did what he normally does. He took his pillow and blanket and went and slept out on his couch, stonewalling me. I was fine for about an hour and then eventually decided, why am I here? I'm leaving. I'm going home.